A warm welcome to you all. We're in conversation today with Siva Ramamurthy, the Chief Operating Officer of Anunta Technologies. We're going to be talking about application delivery as a service, what it really means to organizations and their business units, and why CIOs should really be interested in this new service from Anunta Technologies. Welcome, Siva.
Thank you.
As I just said, application delivery as a service is something you're now offering to your clients. Tell us a little bit about that.
ADaaS, as you rightly said, stands for Application Delivery as a Service, and it represents Anunta's philosophy on how IT infrastructure should be managed. We believe that traditional IT infrastructure management is completely siloed and device-centric. For example, the SLAs in the traditional environment revolves around device uptimes and response to incidents. This does not really, in sync with business expectations and the organization's outcome. On the other hand, Anunta believes or offers application delivery as an outcome and structures as SLAs and designs the solution around it. Our business model enables our clients to take the service as and when they need and to an extent they need. Hence, as a service in the nomenclature.
This sounds really simple, and what you really described is what typically a CIO would expect and typically a business user would expect. Not IT uptime, but business availability, if I'm hearing you right. But at some level, it's maybe a little too simple. Could you just get into a little bit of the nuts and bolts and elaborate on this?
So there was a time, Vijay, where delivering applications predictably was relatively simple. But today, the environment is far more complex. You have hosting, which is on-site, off-site, virtual, physical. And the networks today are combinations of dotted lines and clouds. You have hundreds of applications which are being developed in-house or being sourced through SaaS. And you have to end up delivering these applications to multiple devices. And these applications are not only being accessed from enterprise network, but they also need to be accessed through public networks. So essentially what I'm saying is, today the delivery of applications from the data center to the end users is no longer easy. If I have to compare, it's about putting the right roads with a lane protocol and coming up with right speed breakers and ramps and right tolls to control the traffic so that the entire traffic can go seamlessly at the right speed and reach the destination as and when needed. Anunta believes that technologies like VDI, HSD, application streaming, etc. can significantly simplify the application delivery architecture and enable the application delivery as an outcome which I talked just now. But however, these technologies are very complex to implement and it really need highly skilled resources there.
Right. Now, I think the concept of ADaaS is fairly clear, and what you offer as a service and what you offer as a guarantee, an SLA to not just the IT but also the business users. Why do you think this is so spectacularly different from what internal IT team has been doing thus far when it comes to application delivery?
In fact, today the IT teams, to deliver the applications to the end users, has to deal with multiple IT partners. They have to deal with technology vendors, system integrators, service desk, help desk, each one of them running with their own SLAs. But nobody is providing the true SLA of end user experience or the performance at the end user level. But from the Anunta end, if customer takes ADaaS as a solution, you have a complete accountability from Anunta on the end-to-end deliverable. As well as you have got one neck on the line, which takes care of the true performance, which is end user experience management.
Okay. Now you mentioned VDI, and I'm assuming when you talk of application delivery as a service, desktop virtualization plays a low role. I'm assuming all other kinds of virtualization also play a big role in this. So give us a little bit of flavor of how exactly do all of those plug into ADaaS?
When we approach VDI, what we say, VDI is a technology. It does not mean VDI is going to solve your application delivery problems. So that's the reason Anunta came up with the thought process that we should not focus on a particular technology, but use those technologies as a catalyst to deliver the applications to the end users. So I've been continuously harping on end user performance. So the reason I am harping on end user performance is we believe like end users accessing the systems on demand and with right productivity is extremely critical to the organizations. And this is the one yardstick through which you should measure the IT performance. And this is the same metric which also translates into business value. So if you've seen in the past, there are companies which continue to monitor the entire infrastructure from the data center level, device uptimes, and they've been doing it day in and day out. But end of the day, they have not been able to deliver the SLAs as their end user is expecting. The important aspect here is, study after study, it's been proven that in spite of monitoring at the data center level, as well as at the device level, 48% of the time, it's end users who has to tell IT, I have a problem. So which ADaaS is trying to get away from that.
What has the response from some of your clients been like?
Response have been amazing. The clients really see the value. In fact, the core objective of us is like we connect the IT team to the business. All along, IT always sits away from the business, and that's one complaint we constantly hear from the business users. So the moment we created a connection between the end users and the IT, they see the value how IT is bringing into their organization. And this is something which is very unique, and they really love us for that.
Now you talked about SLAs that were very business outcome driven rather than just device uptime or server uptime and things like that, or even network uptime, right? Give us an example of some of these business level SLAs that you have. And again, was it tough to convince IT teams that they should be going in for business level SLAs with you?
Yeah, so Vijay, now you're asking me to share my competitive advantage. But on a more serious note, I think your question addresses our core philosophy of how our design and solutioning revolves around the end users. So when we approach a client, what we do is like we spend time in understanding and profiling their employees based on the application landscape, the functionalities of the application, baselining the performance of their applications, and then mapping all the dependencies. Through that, we decide what is the kind of technology the client has to adopt and what is the delivery chain we should be designing. In all this process, we then come up with a reliable and a highly available infrastructure and implement it for the client. Here, one aspect which constantly revolves around for us is end users. So we put more emphasis on coming up with a solution of monitoring and predicting the end user experience. So Anunta's proprietary process as well as monitoring solutions have been put in to ensure I predict the problem before an end user compliance. So this allows me to ensure that I give a better application delivery experience to the end users and I connect well with the end users. Our SLAs are on purely end user availability. We insist our clients not to look for device uptimes and not to look for incident response times, but we tell our clients as for incident prevention, as for proactive incident management. And this is where Anunta's SLAs are completely different from any other industry standard IMS SLAs which you can see.
Okay, so ADaaS and application delivery as a service is that way a new concept. In 2015, how are you looking at offtake and where are you really seeing Anunta Tech go?
In fact, we started offering ADaaS as a service a couple of years before. And it was a very new concept. It was an emerging concept. It took a while for clients to understand that. But now we see a greater adoption, and almost every service provider now started talking about application delivery to the end users. And all the big OEMs now says, we have to now deliver application to the end users. So suddenly we see everybody is looking at end users as we have been seeing 2 years before. So this has helped us to now take our story much stronger to the market. And we see the adoption of application delivery as a service is much better than it was in the past.
So any final thoughts that you'd like to leave with CIOs to look at application delivery as a service and to look at Anunta Tech?
Sure, I want to share a couple of benefits our clients have seen. Most of the clients, the first thing which they see is after adopting ADaaS, they see a tremendous improvement to their employees on the application availability. And then they also see dramatic reduction of incidents or trouble tickets raised by their end users, which results in better productivity for the end users. as well as they also see, better end user satisfaction. In the past, all along, it was very difficult for IT to get a better VOC results from their end users. The other benefits, while this is not a primary driver, some of the cases clients have seen cost reduction as well in adopting this solution. And some other interesting benefits we have experienced in the past 2 years with some of our clients have been this solution being centralized architecture gives greater business agility. So one of our client wanted to roll out a core banking platform, and if he wanted to do it in a traditional environment, it would have taken months together for him, whereas in ADaaS he was able to do it in less than few weeks. One other client had a situation that he wanted to start a training setup overnight in a new facility, and we made it happen in 24 hours. And this would have been impossible in a traditional setup. Another case was one client where he had a VSAT setup, and in that VSAT setup, a standard centralized banking application was not accessible, but we made it happen through ADaaS. And one other client had a crisis situation where his employees were not able to enter the premises. And just because the entire solution today does not tie up a personal desktop with the user, physical desktop to the user, the entire employees moved to a new office. They got the exact personal experience as they have been getting it every day, and they continued their work. These are the benefits business is expecting IT to deliver, and we are very proud that we have been able to deliver it to the end users.
We've been in conversations with Siva Ramamurthy, the Chief Operating Officer of Anunta Technologies, and he's been telling us about application delivery as a service and how it adds speed, a better user experience, and it does that with high levels of business assurance. All of those things that CIOs and the IT department are today expected by business users to deliver. Thank you so much for watching.